All right, welcome to Student Story Week. Today's session is with two of our incredible students from Santa Rosa Junior College. We have an alumni and a current student. Hey guys, would you like to introduce yourselves and where you are from, please?
Hi, my name is Brenda Amitepe. I'm from Togo, which is a small country in West Africa, and I've been studying at the GC for 2.5 years now. This is my last semester here. So I started with the community college because it's cheaper, and then now I'm transferring to a university for another 2 years to get my bachelor degree in bioengineering.
Amazing.
Hello, I'm Travis. I'm an alum of Santa Rosa Junior College. I studied here for 2 years. Right when I was here, I studied psychology, and I chose this campus because it was cheaper and it was local, so it was easier to just go to and from home without having to worry about any living expenses or anything like that. And it was really nice because there was just a lot of options here.
Nice. So, Travis, you live in Santa Rosa? You live nearby?
Yes, I live in the town adjacent in Windsor. So
Awesome.
it's like a 15-minute drive from here to there.
Great. So we kind of already touched on why you chose Santa Rosa Junior College. Travis, did you end up transferring to university?
I did, yes. After I completed my associates here, I went to Sonoma State University and then did 2 years there and completed my bachelor's in psychology there.
Awesome. And so you
Cool.
both were working. Yes, Brenda? Would you like to add
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that one of the reasons why I chose the GC in particular as a community college is because of the high transfer rate that it has here. So yeah, we have like the transfer center with counselors and all who can actually like guide you through your transfer process. And this is one of the reasons why I chose the GC as well. Yeah.
Mhm. Do you think, were you considering going directly to university from Togo, directly to university in the US?
Yeah, first of all, I just directly wanted to go to university and do my uh, 4 years there and get my bachelor. But then Teresa came and she explained the 2+2 process. And since it's cheaper and you get the same education, why not go there, you know? So yeah, and I'm glad I chose Santa Rosa Junior College to start off. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, community colleges, I feel like people, especially international students, are not very knowledgeable about what it is and just want, the title university. But it's actually cheaper. You can, and you're not wasting a year of study or two. You're actually saving money, and it's a great option for international students out there who have never considered it before. Great option. So both of you work or have worked on campus. What kind of jobs did you do on campus? Travis, can you
Um,
start?
Um, I actually worked as a student clerk in the office I'm actually working in right now, the Admissions and Records building. I've worked there for both years, and basically my job was to image any documents that came into the office and also just basically add a helping hand to whatever was needed. Like I worked pretty thoroughly within like the three departments that we have here: international student programs, admissions, and and records or evaluations. So it was busy, but I got to do a lot of different jobs, both working at a desk and also working at events.
Awesome. And did you meet a lot of international students?
Oh yeah, definitely. I helped with a lot of the ISP events as well, and got to meet a ton of people.
Awesome. And
Yeah, so I kind of have like the same job as Travis. I work at ISP, the National Student Program Office, and Admissions and Records. So I'm a student assistant, so I help with like phone calls, scanning. I also do the social media work. Yeah, and it has been really great.
awesome.
You know.
And have you met international students from other countries as well? Have you been able to connect with them?
Yeah, as a student assistant, I had to like plan events, so I had to meet a lot of international student, and which has been really great, like to connect with people with different backgrounds. That has been just great, really. Yeah, nothing to complain about.
Amazing. And so, how did you find this job? Was it, when you applied to university, was it kind of part of the application, or when you arrived on campus, or how did you find it?
So I got this job during my second semester here. So I was actually originally following the National Student Program Instagram page. So that's where they posted that they were looking for a student assistant. So I followed the process and I went to the career hub on campus. I filled out the application, and a few days later I was called for the interview, which was like 15 minutes. And then I think a few hours later, I was called that I was hired. Yeah, it was pretty simple. It wasn't complicated. Yeah, yeah,
Super quick.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
super quick. Yeah, it was super quick. Yeah, yeah.
Travis, what was the interview process like for you, or how did you find your job?
For me, I was actually suggested the job by my current boss because they were looking for more people to hire. And since I was going to be a student on campus starting as a freshman, he approached me and said, "Hey, would you be interested in applying for this position?" And I said yes. And the interview process was, like Brenda's, very brief. It was around 15 minutes ish. And I actually got hired on the spot and started working, I believe, a week or two into the semester because of some paperwork complications with the hiring department, but it worked out completely fine. So
Amazing. So it was a super quick and easy process for both of you. That's awesome. Yeah. So you're able to make some money, especially as an international student, Brenda. You're able to make some money as you're studying. How do
Right.
you use this money? Are you, did you know that you could, make money while you're studying?
Well, yeah, because I had my cousin here, so I knew that there was some job on campus. So I was kind of like, expecting to have the job on campus, but I didn't find the job during my first semester. I found the job during my second semester. But how do I use that money? As a national student, I learned that the money that our parents send us is not usually enough. So I use that money for like my everyday life expenses, my grocery shopping. If I want to go to the restaurant and I want to pay for that food, it's just an extra, money that you have and that you can use for unexpected things. Yeah.
Right. So you think of it as an extra, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It's an extra. Yeah.
Travis, how do you like to spend your money? Are you a saver or a spender?
Definitely more of a saver. Definitely more of a saver. I use most, if not all of the money actually working here for tuition and supplies. Like I used it to cover my tuition and my textbooks, as well as any gas and food expenses that I might have had. And I just tried to save up as much as I could for when I transferred over to SSU, actually.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Very useful.
Yeah. I use mine too for like my book supplies and stuff, because it gets real kind of expensive sometimes to buy book or rent books and stuff, So yeah, I use it usually at the beginning of the semester to buy for my school supplies too. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, we have a question here from Maka from Facebook. She's asking, it's in Spanish, but let me translate it. She's asking, was it difficult to work and study at the same time?
I will say it is not difficult if you have a set schedule. So during my first semester, it was kind of hard to manage work, school, and social life. But then once I have my class schedule, I just sit down and I just determine which time do I want to work and what free time do I have to hang out with friends. So if you have a schedule and you stick to it, then I think you'll be fine. And as a national student, you only get to work 20 hours per week, which is okay. There's not, so actually have time to study and hang out with friends. It is not, you're not gonna work all the time or all day, which is good, because you first here for your studies too, yeah.
And yeah, definitely, if I can hop in right here, it's definitely doable. it's a lot of communication between you and your boss, and just making sure that everyone is like aware of your schedule. Because that's going to be the most important part, is just communicating like when you're going to be out for like say finals or exams, and just making sure that you or like your boss knows, because student jobs are actually very flexible. Like they're very considerate of your hours, and it's really, really nice, honestly.
Wow,
Like,
very good. Do they know your class schedule?
Yeah, you have to communicate your class schedule to them when you get it, just so that they know when you'll be in the office or wherever you'll be working.
Totally. Yeah.
And they give you
and
hours.
as Travis say, you actually choose when you want to work and kind of manage based on that. They don't give you, oh, you need to work from 8 to 5 or something. You say, oh, I have class from this time to this time, and I want to work, for instance, from 2 to 5. You know, that's how it works. So, and they're really flexible, like during finals week and all, they're really flexible, which is good. Yeah.
Amazing.
The question.
We have another question from Mariana on Facebook. Okay, let me translate it in my head before I give it to you. Here it is. What skills do you learn by studying and working at the same time?
Ooh.
What skills, you say?
Yeah.
What skills are you developing by having to work and having to study all at the same time in the same campus, and of course your social life on top of that? You know, are there specific skills or things that you learn just from kind of doing all of that at the same time?
Okay, me, for instance, this is actually my first job. So I learned, like, I just gained a lot from it. I learned a lot of office work. I learned how to communicate with people. As a student assistant, I had to make presentations. So that also made me more comfortable with my English skills and all. So yeah, you just learn how to communicate with people, how to interact with people, how to work in the office, how to make schedule, how to plan events, just a lot of things. And I think that one of the highlights of me being an international student at the GC has been my work, because it connected me with a lot of resources, a lot of people on campus. And since we're dealing with like international students, their regulation, what international student can do and cannot do. I also learned how to embrace my F1 status, because I'm also an international student. So that helped me understand more what being an international student is and what can I do, my possibilities and everything. So yeah, I think that I learned a lot from it, and just helped me grow personally. Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, for me, a lot of habits that I picked up were actually more about professionalism. Like this was also my first job, fun fact. So it was just like learning how to write more like professionally worded emails, or just like making sure that you keep up with your schedule, because like with working and studying like at the same time, it's a lot of planning. Like you have to make sure that you are on time for what you need to be for, and like keeping an agenda is like something that I actually had to get back into in order to like make sure that I was organized, and like make sure that everything that I did was like accurate, and just make
those are skills that you're going to need forever, and to learn that from from junior college and take that with you in university, or even after that in any job, it's super useful, and you know, to manage everything at the same time and manage your time as well. All right, another question from Carla on Facebook. Are you able to maintain the same on-campus job throughout your 4 years, or is there a limit of time? Are there rules around that? Travis, did you same job for for 2 years? Sorry.
Yeah. So the way it works is that so long as you're a student at the institution, you're able to work. Like there is no limit on that. It is just if you are a student enrolled in classes, that is like what qualifies you to get an on-campus job. So there's no real time limit on it. It's just a matter if you're there or not. So for me, it's like I only was here for 2 years, and then I had to quit my job because I was going to no longer be a student there.
Awesome. And did you had the same job, right? Or did you have
Yeah.
I had the same job the entire time. Yes.
Yeah, me too. I've been here like for 5 semesters, so I've been working here for 4 semesters. So as long as you're a full-time student, you can work there. Yeah, and you can keep the same job.
Very nice. Okay, another question from Rafet on Facebook. I'm not sure, since you guys do the same job, I'm not sure if you're aware of what other types of jobs you're allowed to have. So one thing before I let you speak, so as Brenda mentioned, international students are allowed to work 20 hours per week, 20 hours per week. So that's part-time, and that's the most that you can work legally on your F1 visa. So do you know what other types of jobs you're allowed to have since you have to work on campus? What other jobs are available on campus?
At the GC, I know that you can have different jobs. You can work at the cafeteria, you can work at the student health center, you can work at the transfer center. Just every department usually hires students for their work. Apart from that, I also know that you can have a job off campus if you do CPT or OPT, but that's like another topic. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic for sure.
Yeah.
Travis, do you know what other kinds of jobs? Do you have other friends who were working on campus as well?
I actually had quite a few friends who worked on campus in a lot of different departments. Like I knew people in financial aid, scholarships, people who worked in accounting actually. I knew a lot of people who worked in very different departments, and basically it's just wherever you can get a job, honestly. Like they're always looking for students, and it's pretty inviting to apply to basically any department, really.
Yeah.
Nice. And it's nice to hear that you both kept your jobs pretty much throughout your entire studies there. That's awesome. All right. So one last question, kind of to wrap things up. How do you think working on campus has impacted your overall student experience? Has it made it better? Has it taken time away from you, or has it made you more social? How has it impacted your student life in your 2 years?
So as I say, like for me personally, I feel like one of the highlights has been me working on campus. So it helped me, connect. It connected me to the resources, helped me learn a lot and develop my social skills. Yeah, and I'm kind of sad that this is my last semester here too, but I'm just grateful for everything that I've learned here. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, there's a definite change in being like someone who works on campus, because it's like you're more in the know of like what's going on campus, because like aside from just like getting emails and stuff, like you start to network a lot more with the other departments, and you just sort of become more connected to like everything that's happening, whether it's like
you
just
know what's going on.
like like when events are gonna happen, like some of the inner like politics of like what's going on, like you might get announcements about things like that. So it's like it's nice to be able to partake in that, because it just makes you feel like you're more part of the campus.
More involved. Amazing. And any last words, last tips specifically for international students who maybe are thinking of community college and are asking about, are we allowed to work when I travel, or what would you tell them?
I just want to tell them to come here and to study and to start by community college. It will help you learn about the United States educational system, because the classes are smaller. You can talk with your teacher more easily. You can have a job on campus more easily. So, and it's cheaper too. So just come here and start with that for 2 years, and then you can transfer. You're not losing time. You're just learning. So yeah.
Yeah, it's nice because community college helps you figure out what you want to do, like without the higher pressure of tuition, because it's lower commitment, and you just get to feel out what you want to do and take lots of classes if you end up coming here to community college, because it broadens your perspective a lot. And it's very nice to like be able to branch out without having to worry too hard about all the expenses that come with it.
For sure. It's
That's
an amazing
cool.
option, especially for international students. All right. Thank you so much for your tips and sharing your experience with us, Travis and Brenda.
Thank
It was
you.
amazing.
Of course, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.